Clay seems to inspire people to create unlike any other material. As soon as people feel the soft, pliable mixture in their hands, they begin to shape it. It is as if the soul is expressing itself through the fingertips to show the appreciation of the world's beauty. And it is even more true for the souls of artists, those who are simply born to create beautiful things. Tleuzhan Batanov began his path in creativity by working with clay, like thousands of his colleagues all over the world.
As children, we often used to play with clay in the yard, not knowing about the existence of Play-Doh. We made different figures like sheep or horses. That's how I developed an interest in art. My art is creating with clay. I express myself through this. I wouldn't attribute it to any particular style, but there are national elements in my works. My goal is to show everyday life of the Kazakh people, family relations, the youth. When I start working, I don't have a clear image beforehand. I just play with my imagination and do what comes into mind. I pay attention to many details: composition, facial expression, clothing, posture, and other small things.
Clay is so accessible and familiar that you don't even realize how important its role was in the development of human civilization. Clay was used to make the first dishes, the first sturdy dwellings, and ovens. Later, clay appealed to chemists, physicians, cosmetologists, and over time, many other areas of human endeavor appreciated the properties of clay. We do not even realize how many different objects surround us today, including those made of clay. And it's okay, because we give full appreciation to clay when its properties serve art. It is involved in creating aesthetic pleasure, facilitating spiritual growth, and self-determination of a human, both in the inner and the outer world.
Since I grew up in a rural area, I have many works connected with my childhood, like, for example, the elder and the grandson. I was brought up by my father, and in my works, you can see scenes where a father embraces his son, the relationship between a grandfather and his grandson, a mother with her child, works that demonstrate family bonds. Basically, my theme is modern times, what happens daily, the news we hear every day on the radio and TV. I focus my work on that, but also cover themes that are interesting for the youth.
Tleuzhan Batanov's creativity has no limits. He is a sculptor, an artist, a designer, and no matter how many times you ask him, he will never say which of these directions is closer to him. Perhaps he won't be able to answer this question for decades. The artist works equally passionate with enormous sculptures as well as two-dimensional paintings on canvas. He does not restrain himself in forms, materials, or ways of self-expression.
У художника нет никаких рамок.
Tleuzhan does not restrict himself with frames, nor does he refer his art to any period of time. He is completely free of classifications and labels, and we can see this through his work. His technique, style, materials are always completely different. For example, in this hall there are pieces where abstraction and dynamics prevail. As for his sculptures, we can see that they are warmer and convey such basic values of life as family, love, warmth, and wisdom. It is so interesting how these different works play out thanks to this contrast. We can also see how the artist develops, from his early works to the present day. We can see what questions bother him as he expresses himself in a variety of interesting ways. There is no framework here. Despite his age, Tleuzhan keeps evolving as an artist. He continues to stay in his studios, looking for new ways to communicate his vision.
Each of my works is unique. I have realistic pieces as well as abstract ones. Sometimes, when creating a painting, I use this method of splattering paint randomly. If you look at my works, none of them will be similar to another. Each work is created with an individual approach and technique. Inspiration comes like a wave, and each wave carries different thoughts which I bring to life through my art.
Love and inspiration. Art would not be possible without these two feelings. Although perhaps the list could be expanded to include traits such as diligence and perseverance. Let's take clay, for example. Working with it is very time-consuming. In addition to selecting the appropriate clay, there are other steps, including modeling, drying, and burning it at the proper temperature. Due to such technological references, a single clay sculpture can take up to 2 or 3 months to create. But to be fair, it should be noted that a truly passionate artist is not aware how time flies. The artist is always absorbed in the process, listening to himself, searching, analyzing, getting excited or angry, and relaxing at the same time. This is the process of creating art. He has some very interesting sculptures. Some of them have hollow spaces or small details. For example, the sculpture consists of just the head, and all the attention goes to the headdress, which also has cavities, like air. So even though they're made of clay, at the same time it seems as though they breathe, thanks to the hollow spaces the artist creates. This is Tleuzhan Batanov's personal exhibition at the National Museum in Astana. As always with this renowned master, the event was a success. The artist presented his new works to the public. This exhibition showcases Tleuzhan's new works that he created up to 2024. We have about 150 pieces in total. They're all very different, since the artist always uses different techniques: watercolor works, oil paintings, and sculptures from clay. Moreover, he covers completely different themes. There are works that talk about family values and love. Other works demonstrate the richness of our beautiful nature. For example, the landscapes of South and East Kazakhstan are beautifully shown. Tleuzhan has worked on open air, portraying the beauty of different places around Kazakhstan. And all this is presented at this exhibition. There are also national themes, and of course events and issues that are actively raised today.
Жалпы картиналарының, туындыларының тақырыптық идеологиясы негізінен
His works mostly focus on emotions expressed through Mr. Batanov's individual artistic style.
Батановтың өз кеңістігіндегі сезімінен туған шығармашылық стилімен ерекшеленеді. Яғни
He strives to convey philosophical meanings and femininity in his paintings. Images of women as symbols of feelings and beauty.
Философиясын, сезімін, өзіндік бір әдемілігін картиналарында жеткізуге тырысқан. Және де
Along with Kazakh national elements, the artist's work reflects the freedom of self-expression.
Шығармашылығында тек акварель бояуларды ғана емес.
In addition to watercolor, he uses glass and clay and a combination of different techniques while creating his works.
Жасаған болатын. Және де жалпы
Among the themes are also national motifs like horse cult, which has historically played a significant role in Kazakh nomadic culture.
Яғни жүгі нарда қазаны теңде болған көшпелі қазақ ғұмырының өміріндегі
The horse serves as a symbol of speed and independence in contrast to human character.
Мінезіндегі жүйріктік, асаулық, еркіндікті адам бойындағы мінез-құлықпен ұштастыра білген. Сонымен қатар
Mr. Batanov masterfully conveys the landscapes of Talgar, Kolsai, as well as Kokshetau and Burabay, adding warm colors and highlighting natural beauty of these places.
жалпы бала балым немере жаным дейтін мына үлкен.
He also depicts love, the relationship between a mother and a child, as well as the warm bond between grandfathers and grandchildren.
Шығармашылығында негізінен жіп сияқты материалдарды да шебер қолдана білген.
In addition, the artist uses thread and other materials, skillfully displaying the role of a woman in Kazakh society, her importance in public life, and connects her image with the mysteries and versatility of the universe.
Мінезіндегі алуан түрлілікті де аспан әлемінің құпия бір жұмбақ әлемімен, алуан түрлілігімен ұштастырып жеткізе білген.
Көңілге байланысты жұмыстың бәрі адам жасаған.
Every piece of art has a specific meaning, and it depends on the mood. These days, I frequently paint Kazakh women. Our people are nomads, and historically, our women have always been bright, beautifully dressed, wearing jewelry.
Керемет әшекейлі жақсы көргеніміз ұлтпыз. Сондай қыздардың елін жасаймын көбінесе. Немесе
I also have works about family and ecology. You can see everything at the exhibition.
көп жұмыстарым бар мына жерде жасап жатқан. Оның бәрі көру керек, соны көрмеде көріп жатсыздар ғой соны.
Tleuzhan Batanov is certain that he was destined to be connected to art because he cannot imagine his life without it. Having chosen his path very early, he plunged into the process of learning at the first opportunity. He studied in Kazakhstan and other places, both close and far away, gaining life experience. Eventually, he felt compelled to teach a new generation of artists what he had learned and experienced. And he has been doing so successfully for more than 40 years. Of course, in addition to his own creative endeavors.
Енді біз мектепте оқығанда әр бала көбінесе ең тарихы керемет.
At school, we were always taught that there are countries with great history, art and architecture, such as Italy.
Италия деп мысалға. Мен өзім Италияда болғам, мына қалаларын аралап көрдім. Флоренция.
I have been to Italy and visited many cities like Florence, Rome, Milan.
Қарап көрдім. Содан алған себебі жас кезімде мен
In my youth, I often thought about Michelangelo and admired his sculptures.
өз көзіммен Давидтің көріп оның бәрін өзім таңқалдым соны. Себебі
When I saw David with my own eyes, I was astonished to the core.
сол енді соның бәрі қызықтырады адамды. Менің өзім.
We also have many wonderful artists and sculptors in Kazakhstan, which inspires me very much.
Көзсай құрметі қайыңды деген жер.
My homeland is filled with picturesque places such as Kolsay and Kayindi.
Айналаның бәрі таулар қоршап тұрады керемет. Су ағып жатыр, көл бар.
During my studies, I was surrounded by mountains, rivers, lakes, and chirping birds. Nature had a strong influence on me, and I started to draw.
Өзім маған көп әсер етті. Сурет сала бастадым мен. Сурет салып содан үйрендім мен.
I came to Almaty after the 8th grade, entered an artist school, and eventually graduated from the National Institute of Applied Arts in Korea.
Львовтың мемлекеттік қолданбалы өнер институтын бітірдім. Содан келіп, содан бері жұмыс істеп жатырмын. Ұстаздық қызмет көбінесе менікі. Алматыда.
I've been working and teaching ever since, at the Theatre Institute in Almaty and later at the Eurasian University in Astana. There are many talented young artists in Kazakhstan, and I believe I have made a small contribution to their development.
Tleuzhan Batanov is a respected professor at Eurasian University, an honored cultural figure of Kazakhstan, a member of the Artists' Union and the Designers' Union of Kazakhstan. Over the years, countless pieces of his art have made their way into collections in dozens of different countries all over the world. To put it briefly, Tleuzhan Batanov is a well-known, zealous and versatile artist, a great teacher, and a very modest man.
The work of every artist has a distinct handwriting. We have some amazing sculptors, and I don't think of myself as a great master. I'm just an art enthusiast who wants others to see my creations.
халық қарасын.